Respected viewers, dear family of dreamers, beloved listeners, have you ever wondered why time seems to reward a few while quietly slipping away from the hands of many? Why some people, starting with nothing, slowly build a life of freedom, while others, no matter how hard they work, remain trapped in the same cycle, year after year? Is it luck? Is it destiny? Or is there something deeper, something invisible, shaping the way money flows into our lives? Or away from it? Because here is a quiet truth most people never pause to face. Wealth is not just about money. It is about how you think when no one is watching, how you act when no one is applauding, and how you endure when nothing seems to be working. I want you to sit with me for a moment and reflect on a life you may have seen or perhaps lived yourself. A young man wakes up early every morning, works long hours, sacrifices his time, his energy, even his health. Yet at the end of the month, there is nothing left. Bills arrive before his salary even settles in his account. Dreams are postponed again and again and again. He tells himself, one day things will change. But deep down, there is a quiet fear. What if they don't? And so, years pass, not because he lacks effort, but because he never learned the language of money. This is where most people stay broke, not because they are lazy, not because they are incapable, but because they are trapped in a mindset that was never designed to make them free. See, from a very young age, many of us are taught how to earn, but never how to grow. We are taught to follow instructions, but never to question the system. We are told to save money, but never taught where to place it so it multiplies, silently, patiently, over time. And so we grow up believing that working harder is the answer, when in reality, working wiser is what changes everything. I remember hearing about a man who started a small business with everything he had. He borrowed money, took risks, believed in himself, and for a brief moment, it seemed like success was within reach. But then the market shifted, customers disappeared, and slowly, everything collapsed. He lost money, he lost confidence, and worst of all, he lost the courage to try again. And that, right there, is where most people get stuck. Failure is not what keeps people broke. Fear after failure does. Because once the pain of losing money touches your life, something changes inside you. You become cautious, then overly cautious, and eventually, paralyzed. You stop taking chances, you stop believing, and you begin to settle for survival instead of striving for growth. But let me share something quietly powerful with you. Every person who has built lasting wealth has faced loss, not once, not twice, but many times. The difference is, they did not allow failure to define their future. They allowed it to educate them. They understood something most people ignore. Money is not emotional, but people are. And when emotions drive your financial decisions, fear whispers louder than opportunity, impatience overpowers discipline, and short-term comfort destroys long-term wealth. Think about it. How many times have people spent money not because they needed to, but because they wanted to feel better? A new phone, a bigger car, expensive habits that bring temporary satisfaction, but long-term burden. This is not just spending. This is emotional escape, and the system thrives on it, because the more you chase instant gratification, the further you drift from financial independence. The truth is, wealth requires something very few are willing to embrace: delayed gratification. It means saying no today, so your future can say yes tomorrow. It means investing quietly, while others are spending loudly. It means being patient in a world addicted to speed, and patience is not easy. There was a time when someone invested a small amount of money, not expecting quick returns, but trusting the process. Month after month, year after year. Nothing dramatic happened. No excitement, No sudden breakthrough, just slow, almost invisible growth. Most people would have quit, but he didn't. Because he understood that true wealth does not shout, it whispers and grows in silence. And one day, what seemed small became significant. What seemed slow became powerful. This is the magic of consistency. But consistency requires belief, and belief is often shaken when results are not immediate. That is why so many people give up too early. They plant a seed, water it for a few days, and when it doesn't become a tree, they walk away, convinced it will never grow. But life does not work that way. Money does not work that way, and success certainly does not work that way. There is another quiet trap, one that keeps people financially stuck, even when they earn more. It is called lifestyle inflation. As income increases, so do expenses. A better salary leads to a better lifestyle, but not a better future. And slowly, without realizing it, people build a life that looks rich, but feels fragile. Because behind the appearance, there is pressure. Pressure to maintain, to impress, to keep up. And that pressure is expensive. True wealth is not what others see. It is what you quietly build, beyond what anyone notices. It is the investments no one talks about, the discipline no one applauds, and the patience no one celebrates. And yet, it is this quiet path that leads to freedom. But let's be honest, walking this path is not easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you question your decisions, moments when others seem to move ahead faster, and you feel left behind. In those moments, remember this: comparison is the thief of both joy and progress. Your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. Some people inherit opportunities, others must create them from nothing. Some start ahead, others start with burdens. But in the long run, what matters is not where you begin, but how consistently you move forward, even if the steps are small, even if progress feels invisible. Keep going, because every wise financial decision you make today is a silent investment in a future you cannot yet see, but will one day live. And there is something deeply powerful about that. To work quietly, to build patiently, to trust a process that does not promise immediate rewards, but guarantees lasting change. This is how you escape the cycle. Not through shortcuts, not through luck, but through clarity, discipline, and time. Time is the most underestimated force in wealth creation. Used wisely, it becomes your greatest ally. Wasted carelessly, it becomes your biggest regret. And the choice is always yours: to spend your life chasing money, or to learn how money can quietly work for you, even while you sleep. And once you truly understand this, something inside you begins to shift. You begin to realize that escaping the cycle of being broke is not a single decision. It is a series of quiet choices, repeated daily, often unnoticed, often uncelebrated, but deeply transformative. You see, most people wait for motivation, for the perfect moment, for some external sign that it's time to change. But the truth is, the people who build real wealth, they don't wait. They begin, even when they feel unprepared, even when they are uncertain. Because clarity does not come before action, it comes because of action. There is a kind of courage that does not make noise. It does not announce itself. It simply shows up, day after day, doing what needs to be done, especially when it feels uncomfortable. This is the courage of discipline, and discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. But here is where it becomes difficult. There will be long stretches of time where nothing seems to be happening. You will invest, and the numbers will barely move. You will save, and it will feel like it's not enough. You will learn, grow, adjust your habits, and yet, your life may look almost the same to the outside world. This is the phase where most people quit, not because they are incapable, but because they are tired of waiting. But what they fail to understand is, this is the most important phase of all, because this is where identity is being built. This is where you stop being someone who hopes for wealth and start becoming someone who is capable of handling it. Wealth is not just about having money. It is about being ready for it. If money comes to a person who lacks discipline, it disappears. If opportunity comes to a person who lacks patience, it is wasted. And if success comes to a person who lacks clarity, it creates chaos instead of freedom. So the real work, the invisible work, is not just about earning or investing. It is about becoming. Becoming someone who can delay gratification, who can say no when it's easier to say yes, who can remain calm when others are panicking, and stay focused when others are distracted. There is a silent sacrifice in this journey. You may have to walk alone at times, while others chase comfort. You choose growth. While others spend freely, you hold back. While others celebrate, today you quietly build for tomorrow, and sometimes it will feel unfair. Sometimes you will question if it's worth it. But understand this: every sacrifice you make today is not a loss. It is a transfer. You are transferring short-term pleasure into long-term freedom, and that is a trade very few people are willing to make. Let me share something deeply important with you. The world will always try to pull you back into the cycle. Advertisements will tempt you. Society will pressure you. Even people around you may not understand your choices. They may ask, "Why are you saving so much? Why don't you enjoy life now? Why are you taking things so seriously?" And in those moments, you must remember your why, because without a strong reason, discipline fades. But when your purpose is clear, your actions become powerful. Maybe you want to provide a better life for your family. Maybe you want freedom from financial stress. Maybe you want to break a generational cycle. Or maybe you simply want peace of mind. Whatever your reason is, hold on to it, because purpose fuels patience, and patience builds wealth. There is another truth, one that many people learn too late. Consistency beats intensity. You do not need to make one perfect decision. You need to make many good decisions over a long period of time. Small investments, made regularly, grow into something meaningful. Small habits, practiced daily, shape your financial future, and small improvements, repeated consistently, create extraordinary results. It is not about doing something big once. It is about doing something small, again and again, without giving up. This is how invisible progress becomes visible. But to stay consistent, you must learn to control your emotions, because the market will rise and it will fall. Opportunities will come and they will go. There will be times of excitement and times of fear. If you allow your emotions to guide you, you will buy when it's high and sell when it's low. But if you remain calm, grounded, and patient, you begin to see things differently. You stop reacting and start thinking. You stop chasing and start choosing. And slowly, you move from being controlled by money to being in control of it. This is the shift that changes everything. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, but it is powerful. Because once your mindset changes, your actions follow. And once your actions change, your results cannot remain the same. There will still be challenges. There will still be setbacks. But now, you face them differently. You do not panic. You pause. You do not quit. You adapt. And you do not lose hope, because you understand that this journey is not about perfection. It is about persistence. And over time, something beautiful begins to happen. The same effort that once felt heavy becomes natural. The same discipline that once felt difficult becomes part of who you are, and the same patience that once felt painful becomes your greatest strength, because now you are no longer chasing wealth, you are building it, quietly, steadily, and with purpose. And as this realization deepens, something within you grows calmer, clearer, stronger. And in that calm, you begin to see something most people never notice. That the true escape from being broke was never just about money. It was about freedom from fear, freedom from the fear of not having enough, not freedom from the anxiety of uncertain tomorrows, freedom from the constant pressure to survive instead of truly live. Because when your mind is no longer consumed by scarcity, your decisions become clearer, your actions become wiser, and your life begins to feel lighter. You stop chasing every opportunity and start choosing the right ones. You stop reacting to every noise and start listening to your inner clarity. You stop comparing your journey and begin appreciating your progress. There is a quiet confidence that forms within you, not loud, not arrogant, but steady, grounded, unshakable. It is the confidence of knowing that no matter what happens, you have built the habits, the mindset, and the discipline to rebuild again and again. And that is true wealth, not just money in an account, but strength in your character, because money can be lost, markets can change, economies can shift. But a disciplined mind, a patient heart, and a clear vision will always find a way forward. This is where peace begins. Not when you reach a certain number, not when everything is perfect, but when you trust yourself, your process, and your path. You begin to live differently. You spend without guilt, because you know you have built wisely. You invest without fear, because you understand the long game. You wait without frustration, because you trust the timing of growth. And slowly, the life you once imagined starts becoming your reality. Not overnight, not magically, but gradually, beautifully, and with deep meaning. You look back and realize the struggles that once felt like setbacks were actually lessons. The delays that once felt frustrating were actually protection, and the patience you were forced to learn became the very thing that changed your life. There is something deeply peaceful about this realization, that you no longer need to rush. You no longer need to prove anything. You no longer need to chase what was never meant for you. Because now, you are aligned with your purpose, your values, and your vision. And in that alignment, there is a kind of quiet abundance, not just in money, but in time, in clarity, in peace of mind. You wake up without the heavy weight of financial stress. You make decisions without fear controlling you. And you move forward, not with desperation, but with calm confidence. This is what it truly means to escape the cycle, not just to earn more, but to become more aware, more disciplined, more intentional. And as you continue on this path, you begin to understand something even deeper. That wealth is not the destination. It is the byproduct of who you become. A patient thinker, a disciplined doer, a calm observer, and a wise decision maker. And when you become this person, money no longer controls your life. It serves it. So take a moment, breathe, and reflect on how far you have come, even if your progress feels small, even if your results are not yet visible. Trust that something within you has already changed, and that change is the beginning of everything. Then come closer and listen not with your ears, but with your heart. Because everything we have spoken about, every struggle, every lesson, every quiet moment of doubt, has been leading to this one simple truth. Your life will not change the day you make more money. It will change the day you make better decisions, consistently, patiently, and without seeking immediate reward. Most people spend their lives searching for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, the perfect breakthrough. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only this moment, right now, where you choose differently, where you choose discipline over distraction, where you choose patience over impulse, where you choose long-term vision over short-term comfort. And these choices, though they seem small, carry the power to reshape your entire future. Because wealth, real, lasting, meaningful wealth, is not built in days, or weeks, or even months. It is built in silence, over years, through habits that no one sees, through sacrifices no one applauds, through decisions that feel ordinary, but are anything but. There will be times when the journey feels slow, when progress feels invisible, when doubt tries to creep back into your mind. But in those moments, remember this: a seed does not grow faster because you keep digging it up to check. It grows because it is nurtured, protected, and given time, and so must your journey be. Protect your focus, nurture your discipline, and give your efforts the time they deserve. Do not rush your growth, do not compare your timeline, and do not lose faith just because the results are not immediate, because one day, quietly, unexpectedly, everything will begin to align. The habits you built will start to show. The patience you practiced will start to reward you, and the discipline you held on to will begin to shape a life you once only imagined. And when that day comes, it will not feel like luck. It will feel like understanding. Deep, calm, unshakable understanding that you earned this, not through shortcuts, but through character. And perhaps the most beautiful part of it all is that you will no longer feel the need to chase more and more, because you will have found something far more valuable than money. You will have found peace. Peace in knowing that you are in control. Peace in knowing that your future is no longer uncertain. Peace in knowing that you have built something real, something lasting. And from that place of peace, abundance flows naturally, not forced, not chased, but attracted through who you have become. So move forward, slowly, wisely, and with intention. Let others rush. Let others chase noise. Let others seek quick wins. You stay grounded, build quietly, think long-term, and trust that every step you take today is shaping a tomorrow far greater than you can currently see. Because, in the end, the people who escape being broke are not the ones who got lucky. They are the ones who became patient, disciplined, and unwavering in their vision. And now, that path is in front of you, waiting, not for perfection, but for your decision.